And there we go. Fans cranking, getting hot in here, getting cold out. Heat's coming on, so pardon me. Of course, this is just for fun. We ain't getting paid to do this. I ain't got no fancy air conditioning up in this studio thing I got going on here. But we're here to talk about the collapse of the MMA fan base. That's right. That's right. Lots of stuff going on over the past 48 hours. Fan base divided. Everybody's picking sides. There's different reasons for the different sides. It's getting a little ridiculous. Getting a little wacky. Getting a little wild. But we're going to dive in. Take a look. See what's going on out there. Maybe even read an article or two from some guys that I've come to blows with in the past. Some guys that I disagree with on certain things. But you know what? Sometimes that doesn't matter. This isn't the kind of thing that we need to stay divided on. This is a thing that we need to discuss. We need to overcome this. We need to get on the same page here. Because what happened this weekend with Gane was absolutely ridiculous. What's happening right now with Tom Aspinall is abhorrent. And if you don't see that, you're kind of a fool. And you're just as much an idiot as the guy that you think you're calling an idiot. People are allowed to be biased. Let me just say that right off the bat. People are allowed to have their favorite fighters. People are allowed to have allegiances. Tribalism. You pick your guy to win. You bet on your guy. You want him to win. That's biased. These journalists like Ariel Helwani, Luke Thomas, traditional journalists, they're seeing it for what it is. Do they have their own biases? Yes, but they are ultimately coming from a place of, here's what happened, I'm going to look into it. And again, I don't agree with these guys on everything. But I'm hearing rumblings that Fernand Lopez and the Gane team are slandering Ariel for simply saying that Tom Aspinall got poked and that this is a foul. This could have been a DQ. Very likely could have been a DQ. Very close. Somebody like Aljamain Sterling also spoke on this and has the least interesting take that I could ever possibly read from a guy who was fouled in a manner in which he was then attacked online for months, years. We still bring this up about Aljamain Sterling, and this guy goes online, Aljamain Sterling, this guy who went through all this stuff that is Tom Aspinall is going through right now, and brings nothing of consequence to the table. I am extremely disappointed in Aljamain Sterling. Very much so. And we can watch that in just a minute. If anybody's out there, throw some chats in here. Let's get talking. Tell me whether you agree or disagree. Do I watch the fights live? Shout out Judah. Thanks for coming in, my friend. Do I do live streams here? I don't, because I'm passionate. I have my biases. And people seem to pick apart any kind of clip that you have in biases. I don't have enough time. I don't have the facilities to do that. Plus, there's guys like who MMA Guru, Lucas Tracy, a million different guys on YouTube do their live streams. I'm just talking about MMA. Maybe in the future we'll do fight companions or whatever you call it, Judah. I don't know. I mean, if you want to hang around, do a fight companion, we'll see. We'll see. But there's plenty of guys who have much bigger channels. You can go watch them, get their opinions, whatever. I'm here to do damage control, try to bring everybody together and have a good time. Everybody has their allegiances to their favorite streamer, favorite whatever. I stay out of it. I don't stream the fights live. But I could, maybe in the future. I don't know. I'm not a professional mixed martial artist. I don't have the best knowledge. I just look at this for what it is. It's pretty much the only thing I pay attention to in my free time. I work, sleep, eat, watch MMA. Cover MMA. Jump on. So, Judah, appreciate you jumping in here. Of course, I watch the fight live. Take the questions literally. I don't understand. Sometimes I'll catch the LFA. Last night was LFA, or Saturday night was some LFA coverage. Anyway, Judah, let me know. You got a channel? Drop a link, something like that. I'll go check it out. But I'm glad you're here. And I just wanted to start off, everybody. And again, always politics involved in everything. Very frustrating. want to go online and get some MMA. At least that's where I'm coming from. Of course, the whole stuff with Donald Trump being involved in the UFC and always at the event. Who cares? He's the fucking president. Kind of a big deal. Have a problem with it? Don't really matter. Go watch the fights. Don't matter. There's guys that have said stuff that I don't agree with. I don't care about sick-ass fights. Guys like Charles Johnson, for example, the way that he lightly spends his money on designer clothes and things like that, gold chains and stuff. I don't like it because you got 2 kids and, well, now you're broke or whatever happened with that last fight. I think Juan clearly would have won. I don't know. I mean, Judah, just summarize a little bit of your viewpoint here. It was his fault. He poked him. He was doing a lot better than I thought he was going to do. And Judah, I don't know who was going to win the fight. I was leaning Tom Aspinall myself. I was worried that Gane would pick and prod, and maybe it'd be a slow decision, and Tom never kept it. That just never caught Cyril, at least significantly, right? If Cyril can outpoint him. I don't like that. I think that's boring. I mean, it's impressive, tactically impressive. I do enjoy some tactics involved, so I can appreciate it. But I like a war. I like a back-and-forth battle. And I think that's what we were on the verge of getting. Cyril Gane was absolutely getting the jab off, doing really well at range. But Tom Aspinall, I mean, some of those big punches were just barely missing. That head kick that he kind of landed, kind of didn't. Surprised Cyril took that on the chin like that. So, listen, I don't think I can agree with you fully that he clearly would have won. But he was doing pretty well. Better than anybody else Aspinall's gone up against. I was very impressed. I thought Tom Aspinall might just run right through him with the wrestling. We saw what John Jones did, but he quit clearly. Judah, here's my problem. He quit. I guess literally he quit. He literally quit. But the problem is that the discourse, and you may agree with it, and I got no problem with it. We're just here talking, chopping it up. I enjoy you. Thank you for being here. Really do appreciate it. But this is what I wanted to get to first. And Judah, I don't know where you're coming from. Maybe you're a Cyril Gane fan. Maybe you're a John Jones fan that doesn't like Tom Aspinall. Doesn't matter. It is what it is. I just can't understand how the MMA fan base. I open up Twitter and it's just Tom Aspinall's a pussy. Tom Aspinall's a quitter. Blah, 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 blah. The slander against him far outweighs any of the, hey, Cyril Gane caused this. He's the one that did this. I was disappointed, no doubt. I'm a big fan of Tom Aspinall. He's a finisher, dangerous everywhere. I'm not as big of a fan of Cyril Gane, but that doesn't dissuade the fact that I thought that Cyril Gane was winning that round. Absolutely, doing much better like we just established. But Cyril Gane committed the foul. Much like a couple of weeks ago, a great example of this, Losane Keita, the French fighter, right? Over there, Europe, doing great. Lightweight, featherweight. He's supposed to fight Patricio Pitbull. He misses weight, and then he goes to Patricio, who was a professional, who flew all the way across the world to fight him. He then was accusing Patricio Pitbull of taking his money away from him, doing this, doing that. And I was very disappointed. I wanted to see the fight. I was really looking forward to this fight. This was the most anticipated fight, the biggest fight they could have made right now. You think I wanted Tom Aspinall to quit? You think I didn't want him to continue? You think I wasn't pissed the fuck off that I just paid $85 fucking for a pay-per-view and then he quits like that? I'm disappointed. But I also don't know what's going on in his head. There's guys like Bilal Muhammad, who against Leon Edwards was eye-poked and then said that he completely lost vision and that he had problems with his vision in the past. Guys like Michael Bisping, of course, that was a head kick and multiple blows to the head. Totally different situation. I mean, I just read it, but then I lost all my stuff. There you are. Judah, I mean, my boy Yuri would never quit after an eye poke, plus who I got in the rematch. Yeah, I did see Yuri. Of course, he's made those comments in the past. Guys like Yuri, Nate Landwehr. There's tons of guys out there that would have fought through that shit. And I got to be honest with you, and I think, Judah, I feel like you could understand this, even though you're coming from the side of that he quit, clearly. I get your standpoint. I got no problem with it. We're just talking. But I think that if the referee didn't step in, Tom would have been forced to fist fight another man, and I don't think he would have just rolled over and said, "Oh, my eye has been poked, I'm done." He's not that. He doesn't seem like that type of fighter. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he would do that. He's been away for 15 months. He doesn't get anything, doesn't get a win, doesn't get his win side of the purse, doesn't get 50% of his paycheck because he didn't win. You think maybe he wanted out. Maybe he was panicking because he went blind in his right eye or whatever. It was a terrible eye poke. Ciryl Gane grabbed, and we'll get into it with this article, he grabbed inside of his eyes, man. It was nasty, both eyes. One looked like it penetrated deeper than the other, but the other looked like it might have scratched with a fingernail, who knows. Who do I have in the rematch if this fight happens? I don't know. Ciryl Gane was looking good, but Tom just needs one punch to land. So I got to pick Tom, but look, if Ciryl can do that for 25 minutes, more credit to him. But it's going to be damn impressive, but will I become a big fan of Ciryl Gane? Not necessarily. He's not my favorite fighter. I do like him because he's not a fat slob of a heavyweight. Yuri Prochazka, I like more than Tom Aspinall, for example, because of shit like that. Oh yeah, I'll get poked in the eye and just fight through it. That's badass, man. I mean, it's crazy and kind of stupid, but it's commendable. You know what I'm saying? And I think you see that. Why not? You threw that comment in there. Who do you think has the best chance to beat Makhachev? I got to say, Ilia Topuria. One-shot knockout power, of course, is always the deciding factor. JDM doesn't have that one-hitter-quitter power that Topuria has, at least in my mind. But somebody who's got great scrambles, who's been training with Craig Jones, who prepared Alexander Volkanovski to fight hard with mixing up the names, with Islam Makhachev. Somebody like an Arman Tsarukyan who can wrestle really well, but I don't know where he's at mentally right now. Somebody like Ilia Topuria, maybe Jack Della Maddalena. Call me crazy. JDM with the scrambles, clean boxing. I just feel like he's not going to get kicked in the head like a Volk, for example. You get what I'm saying, Judah? I'd be curious who you have. But I want to read this for you. I'll read it out loud if you're just listening. You don't have to read along. I'll try to make it interesting, and maybe we'll stop on the way. But this is written by Ben Folks, Uncrowned, works with Ariel Helwani. I've got my problems with Ariel. I've got my problems with Ben. Whatever. But I think I read through this article. Very good read. Jim Miller saying some things. Demetrius Johnson has come out and said some stuff, which is just absolutely foolish. Western Mass, I'm with you, man. I was very disappointed. I was upset. I was angry, disappointed. But mostly towards Ciryl because he did it and it was so bad. It wasn't just a little scrape and he then Tom took the easy way out. We saw right then and there how bad that eye poke was. Dude's grabbing in his eye sockets. The knuckles are flexing. Shout out to that Mark Wahlberg movie back in the day. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. Knuckles changing color. Like, we saw all that. In Western Mass, I'm with you. I'm tired of talking about it. And Judah thinks that he quit clearly. And that's okay. Do you think Topuria will become three-weight world champ or Pereira? I got Topuria. I think Topuria could probably do it. I mean, it depends on who Alex Pereira is going to fight. I feel like John Jones is probably just going to, walk around on his knees if they ever fought, but who knows? I think both guys have the best chance maybe ever in the past to do it, maybe ever in the future. Double eye gouge, Western Mass, you're absolutely correct. But I'm going to get into this. You guys don't hesitate to throw some comments out there. We'll stop and pause and get our way through this. But this is Ben Folks, Uncrowned MMA. He goes, and we'll start it just here. Let me get everything ready to go. And here we go. All right, so he says, hey there. Couldn't help but notice some of the old discourse happening in the MMA space regarding the no contest finish to the UFC 321 main event on Saturday. You know the one, the heavyweight title fight where Tom Aspinall got gouged in both eyes by Ciryl Gane and then decided he'd actually rather not continue fighting blind with his UFC championship on the line. Yeah, that one. But he was getting wrecked, bud. I don't think he was getting wrecked. It was pretty damn close, and he was picking him apart. He had his nose busted up. Did he break his nose? No. I suffer from nosebleeds when the seasons change. I could flick my nose right now and spew more blood than Tom Aspinall's seen in a combination of his fights. I mean, I'm being dead serious. I just have a quick question for those of you who have been critical of Tom Aspinall in the aftermath. It's a simple question, and it goes like this. Are you completely out of your minds? And Judah, don't take this the wrong way. Don't take offense to this. We're just talking. Please Stick around. Listen, learn. Let's do this together. I ask this not from a place of judgment, but from curiosity. I genuinely like to know what you saw when Gane gripped Aspinall's eye sockets like a bowling ball, and how your brain interpreted the resulting stoppage to be the champ's fault. Now, Ben's taking some aggressive words here, but don't take it the wrong way. He's just trying to... May have shattered his nose. I don't think so. I don't think so. He didn't really show any significant signs of swelling. I don't think so. But it's possible. You might be right, Judah. But it was one solid jab that landed to his nose early in the fight. Might have been the first punch that he even landed from what it looks like. But I'd have to rewatch the fight again. So we're not ruling it out. But let's be honest. Like I said, you could bop me on the nose right now and I'd start bleeding. Okay? It's getting cold out. Weather changing. I'd be pouring blood all over the place. Way more blood than Tom Aspinall on his face. Some of this fallout is predictable. We were expecting a heavyweight firefight on Saturday in Abu Dhabi. Some of us even paid full price to see it. So when instead we got less than one full round of nothing resembling a satisfying conclusion, some of us got frustrated and upset. What usually happens then is lightning round edition of the blame game, because fight fans are uniquely primed to expect a hero and a villain in every situation. Like you said, Judah. And Western Mass responds in kind. Judah, I'm not having this conversation. Just want to say hey and drop a like on the stream. Thank you, Western Mass, for showing up. But dude, we're just talking it out. Western Mass, I know you're upset with it. I know you're annoyed. We got to keep talking about this. But I just wanted to talk about it here because everybody seems so divided on it. So if we can bring some people together, show their own opinions, and we can just talk it out and, have our way about it. I was disappointed that Tom quit, and I was very upset with Gane for poking him. So to me, I guess you could say there's multiple parties involved, but there's only one that was at fault here. What I can't understand is how so many people decided that the guy with the fingers in his eyes, plural, was the one in the wrong. Right. Like Judah. You didn't like it, but you didn't like it. I hope he likes the stream. It's okay, Western Mass. I appreciate you. He pops in from here and there, Judah. I appreciate you being here too, Judah. I appreciate you're not just lurking. But look, Gane was the one in the wrong. He committed the foul. He could have been DQ'd. That's just a fact of the matter. It's just a fact of the matter, man. Tom Aspinall, did he literally quit? I guess so. But that doesn't make him a quitter or a pussy, okay? Did they not see what I saw? Did they miss the part where Gane had a finger on each of Tom Aspinall's eyeballs? Did they also miss the part on the replay where the tips of those fingers briefly disappear into Aspinall's ocular cavities? Using some high vocabulary there. I don't even have the understanding of the words to really fully get it. I think he saw the blood and said, I'll call it a day. Even Dana on my side. I don't care what Dana says, man. And Judah, don't take Dana White for gospel. Please don't take him for gospel. He's kind of a dummy. Do I like some of the stuff he says? Yeah. Do I disagree with most of it? Yeah. He's a promoter. I don't understand his obsession with burying Tom Aspinall. I don't like what Tom Aspinall said in that he wouldn't fight Ante Delia. I did hit the like button. Western Mass, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for dropping the like. Maybe we'll get more than just one viewer on this thing, but I'm appreciating Judah for hanging out. But yeah, maybe they've never been poked in the eye before, but it's actually pretty unpleasant. In addition to hurting like hell, it's also been known to affect a person's vision, and being able to see is honestly pretty important in a prize fight. It's right up there with being able to move as a top predictor of success or failure. Part of the problem, I suspect, is that we've gotten too used to a certain order of typical events. Fighter A gets poked in the eye by Fighter B. Fighter B acts shocked and innocent, while Fighter A walks around wincing and blinking for a couple of minutes. The restless crowd then murmurs and boos at the prospect of being denied a bloody and decisive ending. That's why I'm mad. Not because I have any one way or the other. I'm mad that Tom Aspinall, who I was hoping to win this fight and to become one of the best heavyweights of all time, quit from the fight. The eye poke happened. Was he good after, or any long-term damage? We don't know yet for sure. He went to the hospital. They said he was okay. Problem is, he had no backup from the UFC. They didn't really do a full examination. He's now gone to some other doctors. I don't know. And there might not be long-lasting damage. And Judy, you bring up a good point. We'll watch the video in a second. Let me finish this article. Brian Suterer on YouTube, if you don't stick around long enough, he did a great video on this and talked about the entire thing, broke it all down. There may not be some long-lasting damage, but if you can't open your eye, if you're in such pain and you've lost the vision in that eye, for example, which is possible. I mean, Henry Cejudo, at the time, I was pissed off. I'm getting a little bit bored of Cejudo as a fighter, as a styled fighter. I thought Song Yudong needs to win, blah, 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 blah. I'm a lurk and fall asleep soon. Appreciate the channel, man. Thank you for Western Mass once again, brother. If there's no long-term damage, we agree he should have competed. And do you agree he should have had 5 minutes to recover? Yeah. I think that he should have gone up to the 5 minutes to see if it would have stopped. I don't like that he, before the 5 minutes was up, was already calling the fight off. I don't like that. But again, back to the Bilal Muhammad issue. I mean, we can find this and pull this up, but like, he could have lost vision in that eye. And it's an eye poke. And the referee stopped the fight. The difference in the Daniel Cormier fight, I think they should have had more time. I mean, it was at like 4 minutes, and they stopped it there. Should have gone the 5 minutes. The problem is, and Judah, I don't know if you've ever been eye poked. I've had an eye poke so bad, my eye is spasming. And this is what we'll talk about. I couldn't open the eye, and everybody's like, oh, he's covering it. It hurts. You're in so much pain. You're crying. You're bawling your eye out. Like, you don't even know what's going on. I could see out of it, but it was spasming. Just wouldn't close, wouldn't open. It was just a mess. I think they should have had more time. I read that one. Why do we clown Bilal and Cejudo, but not Tom? I clown Cejudo personally. I clown Bilal personally because I thought Leon Edwards was cruising to victory. And again, that's maybe how you feel about Cyril Gane in this one. And why do we clown them? Because we probably have biases. I don't know. I'm not clowning Tom because they called it a foul. I don't clown Bilal for that. It was a nasty fucking eye poke. I was upset with Cejudo in the moment because it looked like he was fine and moving on. Come to find out after the fact that he's got a corneal abrasion and it's more serious than we thought. Fair enough. Fair play. It's the way that they act after the fact. Bilal Muhammad's going to get heat because he was screaming and crying like a baby. It is what it is, but he was freaked out. He lost vision. Henry Cejudo was dancing around, asking questions. Is this going to be a DQ? Who's going to win it? Blah, blah, blah. Do we not think Gane was cruising? I don't think he was cruising. It doesn't matter. They called the foul on the play. Man. That's my point. The DC thing. Everybody brings up the DC eye poke. For whatever fucking reason, I think it was Mark Goddard. Could be wrong. Maybe it was Herb Dean. He said he didn't see anything. And again, if Tom Aspinall, if they did not stop this one in the moment, if the referee, Jason Herzog, did not stop the fight, what do you think? He wouldn't have continued fighting? He would have just stood there and let Cyril Gane tee off on his face? No. Like we talked about with Yuri. He's like, whatever, I'll fight through it. That's Yuri. He's crazy. He's weird. Tom Aspinall got poked in the eye. It was a fucking foul. Doesn't matter if Gane was cruising to victory or not. I thought Leon Edwards was cruising to victory over Bilal Muhammad more so than Cyril Gane was against Tom Aspinall. I think most people can see that. This was a pretty damn close fight. Cyril Gane was getting the better of him. A foul happened. A foul. Doesn't matter if it was intentional, unintentional. A foul occurred. The referee stopped it. The replay showed that this man dug his knuckles into Tom Aspinall's face. Whether unintentional or intentional, a foul happened. Judah, maybe you're clowning Tom Aspinall. That's your prerogative, man. But at the end of the day, why do we want to have this? It's a foul. It fucking sucked. I'm mad. How can you not be mad at Cyril Gane for causing the foul? He had his hands out there multiple times. Stupid. How do guys like Jim Miller, Clay Guida, Rafael Dos Anjos, guys that have been in the cage, I can't remember a single time that they poked anybody. I feel the title should be vacated after a no contest. Your thoughts? No. I mean, I see where you're coming from. But especially in this situation where Cyril Gane was the one that caused the poke, I think it could be vacated. But the problem is, then that opens the UFC to take away guys' money. Tom Aspinall rightfully earned that belt. He earned the pay-per-view points that come along with it. Cyril Gane caused the eye poke. He poked him in the eye. Why should he then lose out on any pay-per-view points, extra money involved? Ciryl Gane should be penalized for this. I don't think Tom Aspinall should be penalized for this. The point of a no contest is that essentially nothing happened, right? Do you not agree that if Tom was doing it to Gane and he poked him, Gane would get much more hate? It's a double standard. Why would he get much more hate? If Tom Aspinall poked him and it was a no contest, it's as if things didn't happen. And I'd be just as mad because I spent money to watch a fucking good fight and it looked like it was going to be a good fight because Ciryl Gane was doing better than I thought he was. Do I not agree if Tom was doing it to Gane that he poked him, Gane would get much more hate? Where are you coming from with this? I don't understand your logic. Who says there would be a double standard? Where's the double standard? Where has Tom Aspinall gotten favorable treatment from the UFC? For months, the UFC treated him as if he's nothing. John Jones has caused nothing but trouble for the UFC. Tom Aspinall has saved the UFC on multiple occasions. When the bell rings, the title's in the air. If no one wins, don't you think vacated? When the bell rings, the title is in the air. If no one wins, don't you think it should be vacated? I think if there's a no contest as a result of a foul, then nothing has happened. It annuls the fight. Does it not? A DQ means that somebody won because a foul was so egregious. This could have been a DQ. They DQ'd Peter Yan when he did it to Aljamain Sterling. I don't think it should be vacated. I haven't thought about it enough, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you act as if nothing has happened. You run it back. That's the reward for Ciryl Gane for fucking eye poking. You understand? Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane, nobody gets their win money. Then why were they going to give Holland the loss if he couldn't compete? Why were they going to give Kevin Holland the loss? Because it had gone past the halfway point in the fight, I believe. But I don't think Kevin Holland would have. I don't know who said that he was going to lose, if not for going based on the rules that over half the fight had been completed up to that point. But I don't even know if that's true. So I don't know where you're getting this from. Kevin Holland, I think, was, and again, there's different situations. The ref in the fight. If you're speaking on the clip in which Dan Miragliotta said that Kevin Holland was going to get DQ'd, that's Dan Miragliotta being an idiot. He wasn't going to get a DQ loss for suffering from a foul. He was potentially going to lose because he got back in the fight, fought out the remainder of the round. They went to the end of the round, I believe second round, could be wrong, Judah, correct me. And then he's going to start the round. We're coming back out. So we're coming back out for the whatever it was, third round, I believe. And he's not responding to Dan Miragliotta. He's already had his 5 minutes. The 5 minutes are up. Are you going to continue? Yes or no? He's not responding. He's looking away. Oh, man, I don't know. Nah, give me a straight answer. What Dan Miragliotta should. Dan Miragliotta said he'll lose. Dan Miragliotta was wrong. I don't know when this occurred. I don't remember this. Man. But Dan Miragliotta was an idiot. The way he handled that was very wrong. What he needed to do was at the end of that 5 minutes that Kevin Holland got, would say, are you going to fight? Yes or no? Stand right here. Yes or no? Give me a fucking answer. Instead, he let that shit continue for another 45 seconds. That's why Kevin Holland, in my mind, was being an absolute idiot and a fraud. Did he get shot? Did he get the nut shot? Maybe. I don't know. Didn't look like it, but maybe he did. You have the 5 minutes. Are you going to continue? Yes or no? Right now, right here. Dan Miragliotta did not do that. He let it continue, let Kevin Holland dance around in the cage for an extra 30 seconds after the buzzer, the bell, whatever you want to call it. That's why I was frustrated with it. I'm tired of Kevin Holland's antics. He's one of the most talented fighters on the roster. Very long, lanky, got good range, great power in his hands, black belt in jiu-jitsu. This guy should be competing at the top of the welterweight division, and instead, this guy's floundering around, not taking the fight game serious. He's doing it for money. I get tired of that shit. So that's why I railed against Kevin Holland, not personally because whatever. He was trying to buy himself time, but he didn't want to. That's when the corner has to step in. Fighters won't quit. No. Judah. I don't think he was in that much pain. I don't think he was. The way that he was acting, I'm sure that you've been hitting the nuts. He's dancing around. He's doing this. How in the world was he dancing around, jumping up and down? You know how that feels. You got hit in the nuts. You're rolling around. You're not jumping up and down, jostling your balls even more. And it's not for it's debilitating. It is debilitating, but not for fucking 10 minutes. Where's the report? Where's the medical diagnosis? Where's the suspension if it was a true injury? This back and forth bullshit. He doesn't get away. He doesn't get to get away with it from the ref. The ref could have stopped it right then and there, and it might have been a no contest, might have been a DQ. I don't know. But the point is that Dan Miragliotta fucked up and let him get that extra 30 seconds. Tom Aspinall, you can call him a quitter. I just think that the situation's different in that Kevin Holland, he's got a history of playing this idiot character. Tom Aspinall is a serious fighter. He's not trying to get out of it. He's not trying to get out of it. And I'm not saying that Kevin Holland is at fault. He's not. He's the one that got hit in the nuts. But personally, I'm disappointed in Kevin for that one. This one is the same thing. Just like people were railing against Mike Mallet for hitting him in the nuts, right? Fair enough. He caused the foul. But the antics after the 5 minutes was over, it should have been decided right then and there. Doesn't matter. And not Tom. The fucking ref in the Tom Aspinall fight did what he was supposed to do, Judah. He did what he was supposed to do. Jason Herzog did a good job. Dan Miragliotta let bullshit happen after the 5 minutes. Kevin Holland was yes, no, didn't give a clear answer. He let it continue. If you're not going to give a clear answer, fight's over. For his own safety. Because he's clearly suffering from some kind of debilitating injury, as you just said. Dan Miragliotta fucked that shit up. Bad. The way he handled it, bad. I personally thought Kevin Holland, I thought he was milking it. Because of the history of Kevin Holland and the way he acts in these fights. Tom Aspinall doesn't have that history. He's more trustworthy to me. Could he have faked this shit? Maybe. Maybe, but the ref handled it properly. Then he would have had a draw, which should have happened. Who? Kevin Holland? I don't fucking know. Why would who do what? We talking about Kevin or Tom, man? I don't care. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care. It is what it is. The referee in the Kevin Holland situation fucked it up. Why would he do that? He was winning. I don't think he was winning, but that's beside the point. The referee fucked it up. Whatever, man. Let's go. I'll pull it up. The Tom Aspinall eye poke, if nothing else, Judah, was a clear, terrible eye gouging. Kevin Holland might have got nicked on the side of his cup and his nuts hurt. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I don't trust it as much as I literally saw Tom Aspinall get his eyes gouged. Kevin Holland's was kind of on the fence, so I'm already a little bit suspicious of it. You understand what I'm coming from? Clearly should have been a point taken after the shot. I think so too. We don't disagree there. Should have been a point taken. Whether he milked it, whether he faked it, whatever. Maybe that's... I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. It's these referees that fuck it up, man. Dan Miragliotta fucked that shit up. Jason Herzog did what he was supposed to do. So, at the end of the day, you're right. Should have been a point taken. Should have been more clear and that is a dumbass. Right now, the streak he's been on. Yep. Okay. Let me. Hopefully you can hear this. Zaxby's got milkshakes, in case you were wondering. Anyway.
Tom Aspinall's title fight against Cyril Gane ended with a bit of a letdown after being...
Do you think any foul should be a point taken? I think obviously there's always situations in which I don't think that because a foul occurred that a point needed to be taken. In the case earlier in that afternoon, Hamdi Abdelwahab elbowed Chris Barnett in the back of the head. Chris Barnett was laying on the ground in the same position, wasn't moving back and forth or turning his neck, right? Where you know what I'm talking about when you expose the back of your head when somebody's punching on you. He was just sitting there in one position, and Hamdi gave him a stern elbow right to the back of the head. Like, you got to control your weapons at that point. Meanwhile, there's all kinds of fights where guys are rolling in scramble situations. They're trying to hit the back of the head. They accidentally hit the back of the head because the guy was rolling. So in those situations, no, don't take a point. It was part of the action. The fighter was spinning around, trying to throw some spinning shit maybe, or he was scrambling on the ground and turned his neck right as he's aiming for his cheek, and he ends up hitting the back of his head because he moved. The fighter who was fouled moved his head. So you give him a warning like, hey, watch your weapons. But we all know at the end of the day, like, that couldn't have been helped. In the case of Cyril Gane, Tom Aspinall, it's not like Cyril Gane's just holding a finger out there and Tom Aspinall goes, oh, look, a finger. I'm going to jab my face on there. Like, this should have been a point taken. Kevin Holland should have been a point taken. The referee, the sideline, the replay referee, should have been able to see, did this hit the cup? Did it not? We got to give benefit of the doubt. He looks like he's in a lot of pain. Maybe he's faking it, maybe not. All right, that's a point taken. I think there's obviously situations circumstantially in which you absolutely should be taking a point. If somebody's grabbing the fucking cage, there's no, he fucking grabbed the cage, take a point. If it's a clear eye poke on the replay system, take a fucking point. If it's a clear nut shot, take a fucking point. If it's something like a back of the head shot or, I don't want to say that. I wish knees to a grounded opponent were also legal. I mean, you can't do it on the first for Aspinall. You can't do it on the first. What do you mean? The first eye poke? What are we talking about here? I don't know what you mean, man. Anyway, I'm going to let this roll.
Ruled a no contest when Aspinall was unable to continue after what is certainly one of the worst looking, not single, but double eye poke.
You can't do it on the first for Tom Aspinall. What do you mean? The foul? Goddamn, look at his eyes, motherfucker. I'm sorry, Judah, but look at his fucking eyes. He's knuckle deep in his left eye. He's up in his socket with his right eye. I don't know what you mean, man. You take a fucking point for that shit. He's literally gripping inside of his eye sockets. Just like the DC one. They didn't call it. That should have been a foul. Bang, bang, play. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? What do you mean bang, bang, play? Do we have to back the entire thing up? He's trying to find range. You don't need your fucking fingers to find range. What do you... Get the fuck out of here, man. What are you... I'm trying to have a serious conversation with you, and this is just retarded. Eye pokes are not part of MMA. Bang, bang, play. Come on, man. I appreciate you being here, throwing some chats in there so we can talk, but what are you getting at, brother? I'm trying to understand, but you make no sense. Let's watch this and you tell me that nothing fucking happened, please.
Pokes I've seen in the sport. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Brian Suter, and the goal in this channel is to teach more about the medical side of the sports world. And right off the bat, for any MMA fans watching this saying that Tom Aspinall quit, that he was trying to duck Gane, and that he knew he was going to lose anyway, so he just claimed he couldn't see, absolute, complete nonsense. There is nothing about what we saw here that should be regarded as him faking this or making this up. I don't care that one of his eyes was open during the interview. There is nothing about this that should be interpreted as him making an excuse or trying to get out of the fight. So let's talk about what we're seeing here with this eye poke. What you have to remember, right, a lot of times when we think of an eye poke and the more serious ones, we think about whether or not the eyelid was open or the eyelid was closed. In this case, for certainly Aspinall's right eye, it seems like his eyelid was closed. His left eye, it seems like that fingernail of Cyril Gane does get underneath his eyelid. But what we also have to remember is it's not just about the contact to the eyeball itself, but also the direct pressure that is being applied onto the eye and what that can do in terms of pain and real trauma, damage, potentially vision threatening to the eyeball. So, number one thing that we're going to care about with an eye poke that's going to cause the majority of that immediate reaction is going to be something called a corneal abrasion. Looking at our biodigital anatomy tool here in a cross section of the eye, looking straight on.
All right, Judah. It's tough, but should have been warned in my opinion. He put 2 fucking fingers in his eye and then gripped downwards. You can see it on the video. What are you talking about, man? I thought we weren't going to do this rage bait shit, dude. Come on, man. Be serious. Be serious. If Aspinall couldn't continue, unfortunately must lose the title, why the fuck does he have to get punished for suffering from a foul? You said it before. Kevin Holland, when Dan Miragliotta said Kevin Holland was going to lose the fight because he got hit in the nuts, that's retarded. That's not true. That's not how this works. That's not how it should work. If it does work that way, it shouldn't. You mean vacated? My bad. If that's your stance, that's okay. Whatever, man. Listen, I don't think so. I think if a foul like this happens, then you just wave it off. Some shit went bad. We didn't know who was going to win the fight. It's only been 1 round. It hasn't occurred. More than half the fight has not occurred. We cannot go to the judge's scorecard. That's not how this works. You just pretend like nothing happened, essentially. Okay, you understand why they're not taking the belt away? They're leaving it with Tom. He doesn't win. He doesn't lose. Shit stays the exact same. They put the same fight together. Judah, if you're so confident in Cyril Gane, then he's going to whoop his ass in the second fight, and then he'll get the belt then. It's just delayed by a couple of months because he fucking committed the foul. You understand? I don't think we disagree that much. But come on, dude. He grabbed in both his fucking eyes. That's like if I stomped on his goddamn face while he's laying on the ground and then, oh, I didn't mean to. It's just one. Dude, get out of here, brother. Get out of here. That's the problem with MMA, and that's why we're talking, and that's why I appreciate you being here. This shouldn't be the case. This should not get multiple warnings. We already talked about this. Circumstantially, when somebody turns the head and they get clipped on the back of the head, shit happens. In the flow of the fight. They weren't in the pocket grappling and, oh, damn, my finger slipped in his eye because I just got my shit rocked. You said it yourself. Finding range. There's no reason. You can't call yourself the best in the world if one eye poke ends your night. It's a fucking sport. It's not a street fight, motherfucker. What are you talking about, dude? Come on. Get out of here, brother. Get out of here. Shoot it. Stop it, man.
On the cornea is going to be the thin, sort of superficial layer of cells that are the first thing that your finger is going to come into contact with whenever you poke somebody in the eye. Whenever that cornea is injured, we call it a corneal abrasion, and you actually are tearing, damaging the cells that make up that cornea. course, if you have dirt on your finger, the fingernail, anything that's not like a perfectly smooth surface with any bit of little dirt or dust can cause a tear in that actual tissue, making up that cornea. And what that's going to do is not cause necessarily vision-threatening damage, but it will cause your eye to tear up. It will cause this reflexive reaction where it is extremely hard to keep your eyes open because your body wants to protect your eye. And when it senses trauma, when there's damage to the eye, it's going to reflexively want to tear up to protect things. It's going to want to stay closed. And so is it that he physically couldn't? To a degree, yes. Sometimes those reflexes just cannot be overcome, and you cannot keep your eye open long enough before your body and your brain say, no, we need to protect our eye, cover the eye with the eyelid to keep the eye safe. It also is normal that the doctor would say the eye looks fine. Whenever we're diagnosing a corneal abrasion, visually, when you're just inspecting the eyeball is going to look okay the majority of the time. The real way to diagnose this.
You said it yourself. You said it yourself, Judah. The Henry Cejudo situation. A lot of us thought he was kind of milking it. What's going on here? I mean, it was a clear eye poke, blah, blah, blah. He looked fine. But then the doctor's note came in and it was a corneal abrasion. We should have Jones crush him. You agree, right? Jones would surely win. I don't. I think, could Cyril Gane outpoint a hard-headed, raging Tom Aspinall in a rematch? Certainly possible. But I don't think that Jon Jones would. Look at the Jon Jones fight with Stipe Miocic. Stipe arguably stole a round off of him, which is crazy, considering how slow and how plotty Stipe was looking in that one. It was rough. I think Tom Aspinall beats Jon Jones, and it's possible that he could get outpointed and lose to Cyril Gane. I don't agree. Every time Jon Jones has faced anybody of his size, similar size or stature, or even larger in the case of a Gustafsson, he's had a lot of trouble. First fight, very close. Dominic Reyes, similar size and stature as Jon Jones, had a lot of trouble. Stipe Miocic beat the hell out of him in the first round. But come on, the rest of that was a little bit iffy. I was having trouble like, whoa, Jon, I mean, come on, you were beating the shit out of him. And then what happened, man? And then he ended him with that spinning back kick to the body. Beautiful shit. Love that finish. He tore through the greatest heavyweight of all time. What about Stipe? Jon Jones tore through the greatest heavyweight of all time. He didn't tear through him like he should have. Should have finished him in that first round. Stipe, hell of a chin. I mean, whatever. He did beat the piss out of Stipe. But he almost did lose a round to him as well. Cyril Gane is by no means any kind of crazy grappler. It's also been a couple of years since then. Cyril Gane's only been training MMA for, 6-7 years at this point? And that Jon Jones fight was, 2 or 3 years ago? And I hope that his takedown defense has improved. We saw it against Tom. Tom tried to shoot a, half-hearted takedown on him. Tom's face looked very rough from Gane. Jones crushed Gane's instantly. I just have my suspicions about that fight. And again, styles make fights. Jon Jones bull rushed him, went right across the cage. He got fucking nutshotted by Gane himself. I think Jon was really looking for the takedown. I think Tom was trying to mix it up, down, up, down. He wasn't really fully committed to that takedown. Also, Gane pushed off with his fingers in his face, too, on that one, so I don't know how that affected the takedown attempt by Tom Aspinall on that one. Listen, I'm going to defend Tom Aspinall because he was the one that was fouled here. I'm not a big fan of Jon Jones. Sick fucking fighter on the come-up, though. He's not my favorite fighter, and I don't think he's the greatest of all time either. He's fighting a lot of guys that were quite a bit smaller than him. But man, he put on some fucking impressive performances, some deadly finishes, some great shit. I mean, the Lyoto Machida submission. Don't get me wrong, Jon Jones is a great fighter. But I think at this stage, this age, this level of athleticism, I don't think that he fucking runs through Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall's got way better grappling than Cyril Gane. Who are we kidding ourselves? Cyril Gane, back when that fight occurred, what was that, UFC 280? Has it been 3 years since then? I believe Pereira crushes Aspinall, but I believe in Aspinall before that fight, I agreed he'd beat Jones. But after that, I think we all just had our hopes up. I think Pereira crushes Aspinall. I don't know if Pereira crushes Aspinall. I think maybe Tom tries a little bit harder to get the takedown in that one, maybe, but who knows? I mean, Pereira's got the touch of death. He's also going to be slower at heavyweight, mind you. I believed in Tom Aspinall before that fight. I agreed that he beat up Jones. But after that, I think we all just had our hopes up. I don't know, man. I think John, he fought Cyril a couple of years earlier. Didn't have the same level of takedown defense, potentially. Cyril Gane's been working on his grappling. Like Alex Pereira. He's gotten better in the grappling department as time has gone on. That's just how shit works. Big Boars MMA. What's good, man? Appreciate you for popping in here. Appreciate you being here. Anyway, we'll get back to it. Again, got poked in the eye, corneal abrasion. You can't see it with the naked eye. He's got the reflex growing. It's toughness that matters. Then he failed the test. No, man. It's a sport. It's not a fucking street fight. You think, go back and watch the Stipe DC fight number 3. DC is calling for the referee to stop it for a foul. DC continued in the fight, but he wanted to get the foul called. Tom Aspinall got the foul called, and shit went down as it was supposed to. This is how shit's supposed to happen. Don't you want to see Cyril Gane beat him up? If you're a Cyril Gane fan, don't you want to see him beat Tom Aspinall in a fair fight? It's not a fair fight. Big board. Gane busted up Tom. Did not expect that. He did way better than I thought he was going to do. Tom putting that Dana heat at him. Shouldn't have been. Should have been mad at Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane committed the foul. Listen, whatever you guys say, again, Yuri Prohaska will forever be higher on my list of favorite fighters because he would fight through that shit, and he's a crazy motherfucker. But it's not smart. It's not the way that things should be. Nate Landwehr, tough motherfucker. He said he wished that there could be biting in MMA. He's higher on my favorites list, but he's not as good of a fighter. So what? He was butchering it. The fuck are you guys talking about?
This is to take something special called a fluorescein dye, put the dye drops in the eye, and then use a specific light to see where that dye tracks to know if there's a tear or a defect in the cornea, but you're not going to do that ringside in an MMA fight. And so, yes, a corneal abrasion, very real, very painful, uncomfortable injury that is going to affect your vision in the short term that will make the eye look normal. So we can't just say, well, the doc said his eye looks fine. That means he's faking it, because a corneal abrasion, the eye will look fine. Other things to think about: direct pressure to the eye, you can get something called a retinal detachment. So if we're looking again here, cross section, the retina is the layer of cells all the way on the back side of the eye that takes the light information and transfers it into this electrical signal to conduct along the optic nerve into the brain to register the signals from what you're seeing and transfer that to an image that your brain can interpret. Direct pressure onto the eye, direct trauma onto the eye, can cause energy to transfer through the eyeball into the back layer of the eye and cause the retina to detach or tear. You can have an actual rupture of the eyeball itself. You can have enough energy and force put through the eyeball that the eyeball itself can rupture, called a globe rupture. There are other things, something called a hyphema, where you get blood that collects here in the front part, the anterior chamber, kind of layering in front of the iris, the colored part of the eye, and covering the pupil. And so this isn't just about did his eye look normal or not. We have to take into account the amount of pressure that was imparted onto his eyeball, and not just visually what the eye looks like when the doctor inspects it. So as we look at this whole sequence here, yes, there are plenty of moments in part of this sequence where Aspinall could absolutely have sustained a significant enough eye injury to not be able to continue. I will admit, yes, here, first right when things are starting, the hand comes in. It looks like his right eyelid is closed, but look at all the pressure that is going through his eyeball. That pressure is going to cause energy to transfer into the
Fellas, listen to me, motherfuckers. Rebecca did not get poked in the fucking eye. Anthony Smith on ESPN said the same shit. He didn't get poked in the fucking eye. It's not fair. It's a fucking sport. It's not a street fight, you dumbasses. Please. I appreciate you being here. You can have your opinion about Tom Aspinall, but it wasn't a fair fight. A real fight in him. This motherfucker is knocking out everybody in front of him. What are you talking about? Dana White is a dumb old fuck who's terrible at his job. Agree or disagree with him on a plethora of subjects. He has time and again disparaged Tom Aspinall and propped up John Jones instead, who's a piece of shit. Sick fighter, but he's a piece of shit. Once he had any adversity, he quit. Agree? He got eye poked. He got fouled. He did not get punched in the eye and had his eye swell up. You think if the referee did not stop it, that he would have just fallen to the ground and let Cyril Gane elbow the fuck out of his face? Look at the DC fight. Look at any other fight which they've missed a foul. But the guy's calling for it. Hey, I got eye poked. I got nut shot. I got whatever. They're calling for the foul to be called because it's part of the sport. There are rules. You want to go watch street beefs or some stupid shit for unintelligent people? Go right ahead, guys. But I know that you guys are smarter than this. It's some tough adversity, but shouldn't have an option to quit. It's a fucking foul, dude. What are you talking about? If I get in fucking American football, if somebody gets called for pass interference, it's pass interference. Like, GSP had his retina torn in the Shields fight and he didn't quit. Good for him, man. Different situation. What the fuck are we on about? He got fouled. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You guys can think that he's a pussy and he quit, but he got fouled. He had the right to do this. If that's how you want to take this, one of these guys like Tom Aspinall who's getting knockouts in every fucking fight, running through the heavyweight division? Or by a foul? Donnie, by a foul. By a foul. No. Stop. He didn't. John Jones kicked in the balls, didn't quit. Tom Aspinall was poked in the fucking eye and fouled, dude. How do you fucking know? How do you fucking know? You're not a doctor. You don't know. You don't know. He could have lost vision in his right eye for all we fucking know. I don't know. Doesn't matter if it's a foul. You're making an excuse. Who the fuck are you, motherfuckers? Who are you? What are you doing here? This is not a genuine conversation. Robbie Lawler lip fouling doesn't quit. He didn't get fouled in the fucking lip, bro. He got his lip split wide fucking open. It's about pain tolerance. Doctor said it looked fine. Hey, Judah, are you fucking listening to this motherfucker? It's a doctor. You can't see a corneal abrasion. People jumped on Henry Cejudo, said he was faking corneal abrasion. You can't see it. It's about pain tolerance and heart. Jeremy fucking Stevens, just went into bare knuckle boxing and fought Mike Perry, a substantially larger human being than him, and got his face beat to hell for 5 rounds. Got dropped multiple times. had his head bashed in. He quit because of an eye poke in the Yair Rodriguez fight. And that guy's not tough? You have the audacity to say that shit. There are eye pokes all the time, didn't quit. Why am I even arguing with you idiots? Why are we even, like, you can't even have a real conversation. He did quit. From a foul. It's not fair. It's a sport. There are rules for a reason to be upheld. If you lost respect for him, that's your prerogative. But that's fucking stupid. Do you guys not agree that Ciryl Gane committed the foul, is entirely in the wrong? He caused this entire thing by having his fingers extended at range when he did not need to. If you don't agree with that, then you guys are stupid. I'm sorry. I really appreciate you being here. I'm trying to have a genuine conversation with you. You can lose respect for Tom Aspinall. Fair play. I don't think he was looking for a way out. He was in the wrong, but the ref may have been able to DQ Aspinall for stealing our money. Ciryl Gane stole your money, you dumb motherfucker. Ciryl Gane stole your money by eye-poking Tom Aspinall. If Tom Aspinall pokes Ciryl Gane, vice versa. Tom Aspinall's fault. Fair play. I'm just as mad that this got stopped as anybody. But it's Ciryl Gane's fault. And I don't understand why Tom Aspinall has to pay the price in the media for this. Why Dana White, his heavyweight champion who gets finish after finish after finish, has to be slandered by the promoter of this company. Ciryl Gane is a perennial decision fighter. Almost $80 to watch this guy quit in a round after a nose broken. He didn't have his nose broken, brother. It didn't get stopped. Tom quit. Whatever, guys. Whatever. I'd like to see what you would do if you got poked in the eyes like this. Please. I'd love to see it. I'd probably be on the floor fucking crying. That shit hurts like fuck. Being poked in the eye hurts like hell. He does not have the right to stop the fight. He got fouled. What are you talking about, dude? Come on, man. Please, please have some decency. Have some respect for yourself. I know you're not that stupid. Please don't say things like this. He got fouled. Can we agree a point should have been taken? But if you agree on that, then you must agree Tom must keep fighting. If the point's being taken, that means that the fight was continuing. It did not continue because he allegedly could not see. So it's over. Dude. He's gripping in his eye socket, brother. Look, right there. It's just kind of a eyelid. He's poking and prodding at the eyelids. Nothing serious. And then you watch it and he digs in and curls the knuckles on his face, brother. I don't agree with Dana on what? I wish that he would have continued. It's not his fault that he didn't. He got poked in the eye by another dude. I was declared legally blind by having my retina torn from a tree branch 5 kilometers in the Canadian wilderness in -30, walked home, then drove 40K. Good for you. Good for you, Donnie. Write a book about it, brother. That's some strong shit. Tom Aspinall didn't walk out of the octagon. Did they have to fucking pick him up with a fucking, bring the helicopter down with a stretcher, carry him out there and fly him back to England? His left finger didn't go in. How much do I have to zoom in, dude? It's in his eye socket, man. Look at it. The stream probably isn't even high enough definition. Ah, my goodness. Well, while we were ranting and raving, found this. It's on the eyelid. Donnie. Just because it was on the eyelid doesn't mean there was pressure applied to your eyeball. Pressure to the eyeball. DC had his eyelids closed. Why do you think his eyelid was so fucked up? His eyes were closed. It doesn't matter if they're closed, dude. Unless it was a scrape across the front of his eyeball. I'm not sure it touched. Whatever, man. I'm not sure it touched clean on his eyeball. Whatever, bro. Whatever. You guys aren't serious. It's okay. I will move along. One of the funny things that I found was that Aljamain Sterling, who was slandered for years for, receiving an Oscar for his performance in the DQ win that he suffered a foul in, courtesy of Peter Yan. They decided to DQ Peter Yan in that one. They should have potentially DQ'd John Jones in the Anthony Smith situation. Anthony Smith soldiered on, and I think he has reaped the rewards afterwards. He's been placed on the desk at ESPN. Sorry, just reading your chats. I just don't understand. Like, Aljamain's taken the opposite approach. I thought that he could actually add some value to the conversation. And again, you guys can think what you want to think about Tom. Call him a quitter, call him a pussy, all you want. Whatever. If that's your prerogative, but I can't see it, man. I mean, I feel with the posting, doesn't feel you're doing as much as these people who are getting hundreds of thousands of views. I post to, so I feel you with the post-it. I don't know what you mean, man. But I thought Aljamain could add some value to the conversation, to the larger conversation. Again, you guys seem to be staunchly against Tom Aspinall for whatever reason. Fine, I'll let you have that. But I thought that Aljamain would add some value to the conversation because he was slandered for years, right? You just called him an actor there on what it feels like to be the guy who was fouled and then had to suffer the public backlash for being fouled. Peter Yan committed the foul. Peter Yan's one of my favorite fighters. He committed the foul. Aljo's the biggest quitter. Maybe so. I thought he was milking that one back in the day. I thought, you got need. You got need. Take the DQ win. I guess that's how they decided to handle it. It is what it is. But he adds nothing to the conversation. You can listen for yourself. Nothing of value. I don't even know if he watches MMA. I really don't. Like most of these fighters, I don't think they watch MMA. I don't think they enjoy it on a week-to-week basis. Anyway, Aljamain adds really nothing to this conversation. Very disappointed because I thought at least he would add the different perspective. Like you guys have your perspective. You have your opinion. Fine, I'm not going to change it, clearly. I'm not really trying to change it. I'm just discussing, having a dialogue with you. We're having fun. I'm getting heated. It is what it is. Aljamain added nothing to this, and I thought at least he would have something interesting to say. Had nothing to say. Listen here.
I think the topic of the hour, as with everybody, is Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane and what actually happened. Was he milking it? Was he using his best Aljamain Sterling acting attributes to take home the gold. Now, I know y'all think I'm going to be on the side of Tommy, but I'm not. I'm not in the sense that he posted after the fight his eye, and we got to see the damage. And apparently, from what was posted, it looks like everything is okay.
Again, we just watched a bit of that video with Brian Suderer. It looks like everything was okay. We don't yet know for sure. It's just, I thought Aljamain was going to add something better to the conversation. He, in turn, did not add anything to the conversation. Capitan Ralfuccio, what's up, my man? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you jumping in for even just a second. Rare W for Aljo. Ralfuccio, what's your opinion on this whole Tom Aspinall eye poke gate shit? I don't know. Cyril Gane just doesn't seem to be taking the heat like Tom Aspinall is. Cyril Gane committed the foul. Tom Aspinall didn't. And I get it. You guys can think he's a pussy, think he's a quitter, all you want, but there's so many people that think that way, and I just think it's crazy. I disagree. You can have your opinion. I just think it's really, really foolish. I'm just as mad as you guys that the fight got stopped, but it's Cyril Gane's fault. I'm not upset with Tom Aspinall, other than the fact that, damn, man, I wish he could have continued. Did Cyril Gane stop the fight? No, the referee stopped the fight. I mean, how literal do you want to get here, brother? Cyril Gane caused the fight to be stopped. He caused it. He started this shit. Judah, appreciate you being here. Giving me something to talk about so I'm not talking to my fucking self here. So I do appreciate you, man. Enjoy the evening. I got to head to bed soon, too. So we're going to probably finish this up, wrap this up, see if anybody else has something to say. But Judah, thank you, man. Appreciate you being here. Really do. Might have called you stupid here and there. You were probably thinking the same of me. That's okay. We're having fun. Just chopping it up. Just having a good time. That's it, my man. Have a good one. Enjoy the night. And my mic is muted. You guys, I'm so sorry. Aspinall came into this fight as the reigning UFC heavyweight champion, setting aside for the moment all the bad things that can happen to your health and well-being if you stumble blindly forward at a heavyweight pro fighter. Aspinall had a lot to lose career-wise in this fight, but for some reason we become unreasonably angry if we even suspect that he might be taking all that into account. We expect him to fight until he is physically incapable, even after he's been fouled, in such a way that makes that suddenly more and more likely. And that, too, is important to remember. Aspinall was out there trying to fight. He desperately wanted to fight. It was Gane who broke the rules by nearly scratching Tom Aspinall's brainstem by way of his corneas. No one disputes this, yet they all want to blame Aspinall for the premature end of the fight, which effectively gives a free pass to anyone who is actually responsible. That's the problem with it. You can be mad at him for quitting and costing you all the money in the world, all that you want, but Ciryl Gane caused this. He deserves to be lambasted and treated like the villain in this situation, if you want to pick a villain, or the villain is the rules, in which this is not really deterred in any way. This is one of the reasons why cheating works in MMA. It's because we're so quick to put the pressure on the cheated rather than the cheater. You can do almost anything you like in a fight except quit. You become a pussy if you're a quitter. That's an unforgivable sin, even when we all agree that you were badly fouled. The other reason it works is because there are almost never any consequences for the guy who breaks the rules. He'll be getting a warning probably. In a very rare instance, he may lose a point on the scorecard. But if he can scrape away a bit of your vision in the first round, if that helps him knock you out before the ending of the fifth, that point means nothing at all. Hell, go ahead and take 2 points, one for each eye gone speared. If it leaves the champ even just a little less capable of seeing the punches headed his way soon after the fight restarts, it's a good trade for the challenger, when the reality is that we're willing to accept. Why wouldn't you cheat in an MMA fight? Plus the onus on the other guy to prove what a tough guy is by soldiering through it. Only if he declines does the whole thing backfire, and even then only in the cop-out form of an empty no contest. My word, this is crazy. I know we want satisfying conclusions, especially when we paid good money to see some definitive answers to heavyweight questions. But when we're denied that because of clear abuse of the rules, maybe it's not the abused we should be leaping to blame. MMA has come a long way since its no-holds-barred days. Telling a champion has to choose between fighting half-blind or getting showered with scorn is really just admitting that you wouldn't mind going back. So, again, back to Judah's point, and again, I appreciate him being here. Donnie, everybody who disagrees with me, disagrees with most rational people in my mind, then go watch something else. Go watch something else, or don't watch this guy fight ever again. That's your prerogative. It's just a silly opinion that I don't really respect. I'm disappointed that the fight couldn't continue, of course. Who isn't? But it's Ciryl Gane's fault. He committed the foul. It's Song Yadong's fault. He committed the foul. It's Yair Rodriguez. He committed the foul. It's Peter Yan's fault. He committed the foul. Doesn't matter how much I love some of the guys who committed the foul and I wish they would have continued and blah, 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 blah. Stephen Thompson pulled out of a fight because the other guy didn't make weight. Patricio Pitbull pulled out of a fight against Lucien Kita when the other guy missed weight. He's committing the sin. The other guy doesn't get punished. Nothing more, nothing less. There's nothing more I can say on it. You can think lesser of Tom Aspinall all you want. That's fine. But then why are you watching this sport? There's rules for a reason. A lot of movies that get made today are not very good, so I don't go to the movie theater to see them. I watch old shit that I like. I like watching MMA where there's some rules involved. Do I wish they could knee to grounded opponents? Absolutely. Do I think there need to be soccer kicks and foot and stomps? Probably not. Go watch old Pride fights, man. Why? Like, what are you watching this for? Because you're going to call Daniel Cormier a quitter? He ended up actually fighting through to the end of that Stipe fight when he was trying to get the foul called. You call him a quitter for that? He was trying to do the same thing. Jeremy Stevens is not a quitter. Look at what he did against Mike Perry. Look at what he did, man. It's crazy. I just don't think the blame is on Tom Aspinall. You can be disappointed in him, but he is not the one that should be taking the blame. Anyway, anybody got something they want to talk about other than this? Because I'd rather talk about anything else. Really would. I find this kind of funny. Ian Gary, Carlos Prates says, "Are you ready to die?" And then Styles all over Carlos Prates for 4 rounds. And then ends up like this. So I'd be curious what your thoughts are on that. I mean, the fella had a very good tactical fight up until the end of it. Damn near quit. Considering he was winning most of the fight. I don't call Ian Gary a quitter. I got my problems with him. But he ain't a quitter. Carlos Prates didn't get fouled. He didn't quit. Tom Aspinall got fouled. These guys get fouled. They make the decision to not fight. Severely hindered. There's nothing wrong with that. My word. This fight card keeps getting more and more stacked as the days go by. They just added Aoki to the card. Now they've got, which one is this? Cade Ruotolo. Nope, this is Tai Ruotolo, the older, or no, the bigger one, not the older, the bigger one. He's fighting Shozo Isojima, November 16th. It's going to be an early card, early morning, late night card, November 16th. I'm pumped for that one. Moving on to more positive things. I'd rather talk about something else. Please give me anything else. Anybody else got something to talk about before we jump out of here? Throw it in the comments. Throw it in the comments for us. We'll have some fun. Here's a defender of Tom Aspinall, Sean Brady. Interesting. Let's take a listen, just for the sake of it. I know I said we would move on, but this is new to my ears.
Serial Gone. Tom Aspinall versus Serial Gone.
I just want to say, it was trending. Joey P's
It was trending to be a good. It was going to be a good fight. I paid $80.
Y'all picks were split. Weren't
I was,
bro.
pissed.
I was too. Huh?
Y'all split. On the pick thing.
And it was trending. I think it was going to wind up being like a very, very good fight. It looked like Aspinall was getting comfortable. He was getting hit with some, like his nose was busted. Like there was some nice blood on his shit, but it was trending towards being a good fight. And bro, that eye poke was very bad.
Yeah.
Very fucking bad. And fuck, bro. I was like deflated afterwards. I was like, God damn.
And it sucks for Tom too, because it's like you've been out
Bro.
for over a year waiting on John.
Way
you don't
over
get
a
it. Then you
year.
get this, and then you fucking, I don't know.
Yeah. And then like he was getting booed afterwards. He's like, bro, I didn't fucking poke myself in the eye. Like, and
But
yeah,
then
bro.
everybody's counter to it, social media wise, was like showing everybody else that got poked in the eye that continued to fight and won.
It's like if all 5 of us get hit in the nuts, we're all gonna have different reactions. Like,
Hell yeah.
you can't. It's your fucking eye. Like, you don't fucking like you.
Justin's gonna be.
You gotta
pop right up.
You got a knuckle in
Shit
your
probably
eye.
so
You thought
low.
it was a fucking.
I thought my
Bro,
eyeball went to the back
How
of my
many
head.
times? Like, you get punched sometimes and you think you get poked.
Yeah.
His one finger was in his skull.
Yeah,
Like-
it was a good quarter of his finger just. Bam.
Yeah. So
DC didn't win that fight against Stipe Miocic after getting poked in the eye. Everybody clowning on Tom Aspinall for this. It's very unlikely that you go on to win a fight after getting such a debilitating eye poke, nut shot, whatever it is. We're all disappointed that it ended, but like, somebody committed a foul and somebody was the victim of a foul. He has every right within the rule set to not continue. Awful poke, man. I don't understand. Like, why? I don't get it. Some of these eye pokes, and again, you call me hypocritical in 5 months when somebody gets brushed on the side of the eye, and I say, well, what the fuck? You barely got touched on the eye. What even happened? The Kevin Holland thing, like, did you even get hit in the nuts? Did you even? When there's a questionable foul, we question it. There was no question here that he got poked in the fucking eye awfully. Both eyes. That's the point. That's the difference, man. Everybody looking at all these different examples. It don't fucking matter, man. Some of these other examples are either a blatant foul or something questionable. And therefore, if it's questionable, it's going to be questioned. This shouldn't be getting questioned at all. He got poked in the eye really bad. I don't see any new news. Dirty Boxing dropped their full card. Who's on here? We got Gable Steveson in the main event. Brian Battle. Trinaldo. Anybody else? I got a shitty screen here. Is that? Yeah, he looks familiar. Anybody else? If I could see it clearer, we could talk more about it. But anyway, Thursday, live on YouTube. Gonna be fun. I've liked and enjoyed a lot of what Dirty Boxing is doing. Mike Perry, John Jones is involved in it. Whatever. But they've put on some good cards so far. Production's been a little bit rough. But the show, the fights, they've been really good. Delivered. I've been impressed. Karate Combat, I believe, also has a card later this week. We've got UFC as well. Steve Garcia, David Onama. That's a sick fight. Not a good main event by any means, but it's a sick fight. Isaac Dolgarian's a fun fighter to watch. Jeremiah Wells, Tembo Garimbo might be a fun one. Two good athletes. I mean, are they great fighters? No, but they're fun athletes. Pretty explosive athletes. Waldo Costa, Ante Delia in his third nipple. Charles Radke. Usually has some good fights. Nascimento, Rafael Estevam. It's an Apex card. What can I say? World Series going on. Don't know what the hell is going on there. I don't know what that is. John Pork getting some training in there. Great fight back on the Contender Series. If you did not see that on the Contender Series, Zainukov, Magomed, Chanko, John Pork. Fantastic fight.
Bitch. Nigga, you's a bitch. Nigga, you's a bitch.
Andre Easy. Always funny. Here's the full card. Cedric Dumas. That guy's back again. Shout out Phil Rowe versus Ko. Might be interesting at welterweight. Can I just say Phil Rowe did a fantastic job on the CJI2 broadcast. That guy's got real potential. I wish that he watched more MMA because he really doesn't know what he's talking about on a week-to-week basis, but damn, he's talented on the mic. That guy is a born broadcaster. We got some debutantes coming off the Contender Series. Other than the Norma Dumont and Ketlin Vieira fight, the other two women's fight, I have no interest in. It's an Apex card. If you're sitting around doing nothing, it's probably worth a watch. Might be some fun fights. Cedric Dumas, that's a rough character. Not a fan of that guy and what he does outside the cage. Maybe the new guy will beat him up for us. We'll see. We'll see. I don't even know who to pick. I'm leaning Steve Garcia. I think he's faced the tougher opposition up to this point, and I think he's looked better doing it than David Onama. But David Onama, he's sharp, man. He's fast, man. Let's see what Kamaru and Henry Cejudo have to say on their podcast. Just while we're here. Haven't heard this yet.
It's not Tom's fault. We know MMA fans are wishy-washy at times.
All the time.
Okay? Yes, all the time. Just like the same thing with you, Henry. Only you knew how bad that was and how much that hurt you in there. So we can't sit here and really be upset with Tom.
He's going to become a better fighter because of this. Just close your eye next time. That he's going to come to that realization. Now, honestly, you just close one eye and you just got to go because there's nothing you can do, man. I've always thought people bitch out when they got poked. It's humbling. I've learned so much, but we cannot judge Kamaru. Only he knows what that feels like. This went inside me like that. Too.
Oh!
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
All right. You can make mistakes. I was mad at Cejudo because I want Song Yadong's cruising to victory in that one. I was mad. But then Corny Abrasion all came out. Tom Aspinall, he's fast, can't open the eye. And I poke. I don't know what that is. Ray Cooper. What's he up to? Quinlan Sal killed. I mean, shout out to that dude. Late notice. Huge underdog. Gets that shit done. Brutal fashion. This guy's fun, man. Fun to watch. It's an Aussie fighter. More baseball. Get out of the way. I don't want baseball. I don't want basketball. Anyway. Islam Makhachev sporting a bald head. Whew. All right. What else is going on? Anything? I don't know what the fuck that is. Anyway. Enough of that. We got some stuff to look forward to. We'll move past this, but man, whatever we call this, Pokegate, at the end of the day, it's unfortunate that Tom Aspinall is getting all this slander. I don't think he deserves it. I think you can be disappointed. I think you can say that he's a quitter. It's fine. Technically he did, but he was fouled. Cyril Gane caused all of this. That'll do it for me. We'll wrap it up on that note. Thank you for everybody who joined. Shout out to Judah. He was in here pretty active. Donnie as well. Capitan Rafucho. Who else was there? Anybody else in here? Western Mass was in here earlier. I disagree, man. I just don't think he should be taking all this blame. It's not fair. It's not fair. You got fouled. You shouldn't be taking the brunt of the blame here. The guy who committed the foul should be. Cyril Gane has a history of committing fouls. I don't want to call him a dirty fighter, but he's had a lot of fouling issues in a lot of fights, and I don't like to see it. And I hate for Tom Aspinall to be taking a brunt of all these attacks on social media. But it is what it is. Hopefully we'll move past this. The divide in the MMA fan base is crazy right now. And we'll move right along. On to the next, on to tomorrow, on to more great news. Hopefully some more positive things tomorrow. That'll be it for me tonight. You guys, anybody out there still watching? Probably nobody, let's be honest here. I'm just rambling on at this point. I got no direction here. I will see you all next time. Enjoy your nights. Have a good one. If you're working, if you're lurking, have a good one. Appreciate you for being here, lurking, everything, all that and more. Again, have a good night, and I will see you all very, very soon.